Yeah, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. This time of the Long Kiss Goodnight. Now, Long Kiss Goodnight is a film from 1996 directed by Renny Harlin, who I enjoy as a director. I love films he's done like Prison, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, Cliffhanger, Die Hard 2, Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Deep Blue Sea, Mindhunters, even the film he did with Jackie Chan called Skip Trace. He's had some missteps too, but overall, definitely in my top 10, maybe even my top 5 favorite directors. I'm a big fan of Renny Harlin, and this is a criminally underrated film. To me, the real Captain Marvel. You'd be like, oh, well, why are you comparing them? It's two different types of heroes. It's easy to compare when they're both about women who are supposed to be strong women in the lead, who is living a life even though she's missing memories of her past, doesn't really quite know who she is or who she was in the past. Something happens. Her memories start getting triggered. She starts remembering. Samuel Jackson's there to help, and they both team up to not only help her retrieve her memories, finds out who she was in the past. There was someone a lot more experienced. For example, some type of government type of job, whether it be the military as an Air Force pilot or whether it be CIA assassin. And then by the end they reach their full potential and be a badass while Sam Jackson's there to help out or try to help out. And yeah, there are differences. This is a good movie. And to me, the real Captain Marvel, or I'll say the real Atomic Blonde, because I was not a big fan of Atomic Blonde, I got much more satisfaction out of this movie. Geena Davis does a great job. She's very likable and sweet as the mom, and then when memories start being triggered because she has a car accident with another person in the car. And Renny Harlin is a talented director. I don't care what anyone says. Just the scene alone where she gets in a car crash, goes through the window, flies forward into the snow, and her memories are coming back, but not. She's still fuzzy about it. Like flashes come back, and at times she'll go back to that old personality, that old life, and like there's a deer that they had hit in this car crash. Well done. Didn't look fake, didn't look phony, did not look laughable. She goes in, just snaps the deer's neck. Then she passes out. There's another moment later on where she's with her daughter ice skating. And then the old person stops in. She's like, stop being a baby. And is rude and mean and forceful. And then she snaps out of it at the end, doesn't realize that she hurt her daughter. And wow, there's remorse. There's emotion, which he did not have in Captain Mannequin. There's actual emotion. Samuel Jackson is a guy who used to be a cop. Now he's a private investigator. Is helping her on the case to find clues to who she is. When the action scenes happen, they're expertly done. No shaky cam, no confusion. Whether it be the scene where a bad guy comes into her home with a shotgun and I think a grenade launcher or something. There's a point where she blocks it with the refrigerator, flies back, hits him in the face with something, and then punches him, breaks his neck, fucks his day up. Before that, you get elements of her being surprised and shocked, make us more relatable to her, vice versa. Like she's chopping these vegetables. Oh my god, I'm a chef. That must be what I am. Throws a knife at a pepper. Oh, hey, chefs do that. Because she doesn't know quite who she is at that moment. Like I said, the action sequences are wonderful. You have a battle in a train station where bad guys are willing to mow down civilians, which that might not be PC, but that's more realistic. When people get hit as practical blood squibs, which is missing from today's age. It shows her talent how effective she is as an assassin. Gets a gun from Sam's pocket, shoots a bad guy. They're in this hallway with a grenade. Sam's like, run for your life. They're running, they jump out the window. She's shooting a machine gun down at the snow. They crash through. At the end, when they're on this bridge, and there's a bad guy she killed earlier that fell down, got caught in these lights, and he was on fire. She cuts the line, goes up, grabs the guy's gun as the body's coming down, shoots a bad guy in a helicopter. A lot of very satisfying sequences of gunplay, of her in action, being a badass. Actually has a character arc. Because when she becomes this person, her old self, she's like, oh, forget about my old family. But even Sam reminds her about your daughter, and that those feelings come back, and she becomes a full character by the end. And she shows emotion. Very talented actress, Geena Davis. She's sort of disappeared as of late, but Cutthroat Island I didn't care for. But this one I thought really showed that she could have been an action hero. She's badass. And before I get into some of the people involved, I mean, like I said, Renny Harlin, this is coming off of, Cutthroat Island, but he also did Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, and classics to me of the action genre. Shane Black was the writer on it. This is when Shane Black had talent. Because I'm sorry, he directed Iron Man 3 and The Predator. The talent is long gone. Although I liked The Nice Guys, I will admit. And I liked Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But stay away from sequels and stay away from superhero movies. Maybe that's the thing. But he wrote this. He did a good job. Of course, it takes place at Christmas. And maybe there's a number of things why it bombed. I think it came out in October of '96. October is a bad year to release an action film. Maybe because of the stench of Cutthroat Island hurt this movie's chances, because they thought it'd be another one, and it absolutely is not. Maybe people didn't buy Geena Davis as an action star, which I did. This film deserved to make $1 billion more than Captain Mannequin. Sam Jackson, I liked his character, and in fact, Samuel Jackson, there's a YouTube video, I think GQ, where Sam Jackson answers questions, and someone asks him, like, what films of yours do you rewatch the most? Like, do you like to rewatch your movies? And Sam's like, yeah, I do. And the one I rewatch the most is The Long Kiss Goodnight. And there's another one, I think it was Jimmy Fallon or something, where he's being interviewed, and they asked what his favorite characters were. This was on that list. I can see why. He's a very likable character. Even little traits, for example, if to remember stuff, he'll sing a song like da 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 da, put my keys in my right pocket, da 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 da, and my gun in the left one too, da 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 da. That's a fun trait for the character. It's R-rated, so he doesn't have to hold back. He's not a pussy. Ooh, look at the little titty, like in Captain Marvel. This is the Sam that you want to see. I know originally his character was going to die, and the audience didn't like that, so they went back and they changed it for the better, in my opinion. Definitely for the better. The score is actually by, I believe, Alan Silvestri, which I could tell because I heard a little vagueness to the Predator score for the Predator movies. There's a little bit of Predator score I could get the feeling of. Same when he did Judgment Night. But of course that's because those were Predator 1 and 2 were really good scores, so it's not exactly like Predator, but once in a while you get like, oh, okay, that reminds me a little bit of that. Still a very decent score. There's some really nice moments of humor, like when she's fully turned into her former self of Charlie Baltimore. Sam's been hurt and he has a bandage on, and she's like, oh, it's leaking. Hey, take a look at these. She does this. We don't see the goods, but she does this, and Sam's reaction like, and then she quickly rips the bandage. Oh, shit. What'd you do that for? Distraction. I thought that was a very funny bit. That was very entertaining. it shows that a woman can be the lead, but you don't have to put so many fucking SJW politics in it. Just make it a good movie and a good character. And they did both in that. Other people in the cast, Brian Cox as a guy who used to know Geena Davis in her former life and tries to, he gives her the info and exposition. He has a fun sense of humor to the film as well, including the first scene he appears, which I won't spoil. Brian Cox did a good job. Of course, he was Hannibal Lecter in the film Manhunter. David Morse, who's been in a lot of stuff like Disturbia, he makes an appearance in this. He did fine. The bad guy's there, Craig Bierko. He's there. I've seen better, but I've seen much, much worse too. He did fine for what he was supposed to do. But for a movie that's 2 hours long, I didn't really feel it. I did not feel any slow pace at all. It's a good-looking film. When the stunts happen, they're very efficient. I love the bridge explosion at the end where the characters have to escape this bridge that's blowing up. It's a spectacular explosion. I'm guessing it was done with models. But I love it, especially when you see the car, it like goes on its two front wheels and like it's fire in the background. Granted, the up-close shots of the characters in the car, the fire in the back is very fake looking, but I excuse it because it was 1996. So maybe those moments are not the best, but the wide shot of the explosion, I think is a beautiful, beautiful explosion. A nice usage of model work. I think this has one of the best action trailers of the 90s with the way it's edited, the music it used, and at the end of that trailer it uses the music that would later be used in The Matrix. I'm doing a shitty job of it, but wonderful trailer. And that's what I mean, like, if I saw that trailer, I think I was, at this time, I lived in an area where the movie theater was like 30 miles away and mostly just saw films on VHS. So rarely got to the theater at all when I was a kid. Unless once on Blue Moon on a special occasion. But for most, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, man, I want to see this film, and I thought it was really good. Really fucking good. And there's no features on this. I don't even know if this film's on Blu-ray. I'm assuming it is, but I could be wrong. But yeah, no features at all except a trailer. Which sucks. Because this film's pretty underrated. If Sam, it's his favorite, film to rewatch of his, I'm sure he'd do an interview. Geena Davis interview, Renny Harlin. Commentary Renny Harlin, Sam Jackson, that'd be fun. But yeah, it has some nice crowd-pleasing moments. Like, you think Sam is dead, and then later on you think the characters, Geena Davis and her daughter, are goners. And then Sam Jackson sits up bloodied, and the music that he would hum to remember things, it pops up. Dun, 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 and he's looking towards the camera. I'm like, yeah, fuck yes. That's a satisfying moment. And again, the stunt sequences, before that bridge scene, the car chased into this truck that has a big bomb on it, and at one point it slides, the whole truck is sliding on its side, and Geena Davis on top of it, and the character flies off. Real people, real stunts, not CGI, computer, video game bullshit. Great acting performance by Geena Davis. Very likable, strong support by Sam Jackson. I'm glad they didn't kill his character off like originally was supposed to happen. He didn't, I thought they did the character justice, meaning it was a character that didn't deserve to go out, to die, and they fixed it. See, that's a bit of fixing that works out for the better, because that's not always the case. Even the little girl who played her daughter, she did fine. Yeah, this is a badass movie, badass action film. If you like action films, if you like These actors, if you like Renny Harlin, if you like 90s action, if you are getting sick and tired of the shit coming out nowadays like I am, the Captain Marvel, like if you hated Captain Marvel, go watch this film. This is how you do that kind of story right. Yeah, there's no super powers for the better, but the general gist, woman who's missing her memory teams up with Sam Jackson to find her memory and be the ultimate badass she can be. And this is that movie. And it was a lot of fun watching this again. If it's not on Blu-ray, it deserves it. Even if it is on Blu-ray, it deserves a special edition. Because I know I'm not the only one who enjoys this film thoroughly. Again, wonderful stunt work, excellent action sequences, great cast, likable characters. And for a movie, like I said, that's 2 hours long, it didn't feel that way at all. Not at all. So, and again, some nice character work on the lead. Like there's some little nightmare she has. There's a little bit artistic on Renny Harlin's part. She does a good acting job being the very nice mom and being a bit more hardcore Charlie Baltimore, and then at the end a mix between the two. Underrated performance. And that's it, a badass action, explosive entertainment, which is what I miss. I miss movies like this, but they don't make movies like this because it bombed, and it bombed big time. But then Captain Humanity makes $1 billion worldwide, and you don't get more movies like that. It's not fair, and that's just the way it is. But thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.